Hey everybody, welcome back to the T26 channel and welcome to our Team of the Week series where we have transitioned into going over what our projected starting 11 will be in the 2026 World Cup and how those players have done at the club level over the weekend. As always, before we get kicked off, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss anything leading into the 2026 World Cup. We are just a few short months away and it is crunch time for our players. Stay up to date here. Starting at the back, we're going to look at our goalkeeper, and that is going to be Matt Freese of New York City FC. And Freese played the full 90 minutes in a 3-1 win over the Colorado Rapids. He had one save, 0 high claims, and played 18 long balls, completing just 6 of them. We know that Matt Freese is a shot stopper and a penalty specialist. I like Freese when we don't ask him to do too much with his feet. The goal he gave up was a close range shot just outside the 6-yard box, but it wasn't too far from him either. It was not a well-placed finish. Freese could have had this, but at the same time, I don't fault him for being beat from 6 yards out. Moving into our back line and our back three, we're going to start with our left center back, Tim Ream of Charlotte FC. And after a really dreadful first 2 weeks, Ream has started to turn it around. He went the full 90 minutes in a 0-0 draw against Inter Miami, and in this match, he had 62 touches, completed 94% of his passes, and had 3 clearances. This is quite a turnaround from his first couple of weeks where he was getting beat left and right, and I mean literally down the left wing and coming across from the right. Ream has really settled in and started to get his legs underneath him in the MLS season. It took a couple of weeks, but he's looking better. Hopefully he continues to build and hits that mid-season form come June. In the middle, we're going to have Chris Richards of Crystal Palace. And like Ream, Richards went the full 90 minutes in a 0-0 draw. Palace played Leeds United over the weekend, and Richards was solid as always. He had 86 touches, completed 92% of his passes, and had 2 key passes. 3 successful long balls, while also adding 7 clearances and winning 6 of his 8 aerial duels. Chris Richards continues to be a standout performer, not only with Crystal Palace, but in the Premier League as a whole. This dude is so solid for us in the back line. We absolutely need him. Moving to our projected right center back, we have Mark McKenzie of Toulouse. And Mark went the full 90 minutes in a 4-3 win over Metz. McKenzie had 72 touches and completed 93% of his passes, and he added 4 clearances and 2 interceptions and won 5 out of his 8 duels. Overall, I think McKenzie is a very solid option. If someone else emerges, no Kai Banks looking at you, I would not be surprised if McKenzie saw minutes at that left center back role, but I think Tim Ream is kind of invaluable in Mauricio Pochettino's eyes, so if Banks does decide to commit to the U.S. men's national team, McKenzie may have a fight on his hands. But if Banks wants to stay aloof and potentially feel out Germany, McKenzie's pretty solid in that right center back position. Moving up just a little bit, we're going back to the left side and we're going to look at our left wing back, Anthony Robinson of Fulham. And A-Rob played the full 90 minutes in a 0-0 draw against Nottingham Forest. There's a common theme here this weekend. A lot of our players were in 0-0 draws. Jedi had 69 touches while guarding that left wing and completing 73% of his passes while failing to complete any crosses or long balls. That's unlike him. He's usually pretty reliable here. It was good to see him back on the pitch after he didn't feature on the 8th. He's had injury concerns all season, and I want him to be 100% healthy come June. Hopefully Jedi comes into the March camp and shows Mauricio Pochettino what he can do and shows the rest of us that he's healthy and ready to go. Moving over to our right wing back, we would have Serginho Dest, but he's out with a hamstring injury until May. So I believe Tim Weah is our next man up here, and we're going to feature him until Dest comes back. On Friday, Tim Weah went the full 90 minutes with Olympique Marseille in a 1-0 win over Auxerre. He had 59 touches and completed 85% of his passes, adding 1 key pass and completing an accurate cross. If we have Weah on the right-hand side and Jedi on the left, I believe that we have 2 very solid, very rangy, pacey wingbacks who can get on the end of crosses and also play them really, really well. I'm not mad if both of those players are on our wings. I believe that Dest brings additional creativity to our lineup, which would be great in the group stage when we're playing teams that are likely going to sit in a low block. But Weah definitely has a place here, as he may be that more defensively sound option for us. Moving up into our midfield, we're going to look at our dual pivot sixes, starting with Tyler Adams of Bournemouth. And Adams did not play for Bournemouth over the weekend as he picked up a knock in training. I'm hopeful it was just precautionary and we see him back in action next weekend, but with his injury history, we can't be too careful, and I wouldn't rule out a little bit of an extended stay on the bench. Right now, I'm projecting that his partner at that sixth position is Tanner Tessmann of Olympique Lyon. And Tessmann went the full 90 minutes over the weekend in a, you guessed it, 0-0 draw against Le Havre. Tessmann is a really good reader of the game, and I think he complements Adams in our dual pivot pairing. Moving up one level to our dual 10s, we're going to start on the right-hand side and talk about Weston McKennie of Juventus. And Weston played the full 90 in a 1-0 win over Udinese over the weekend. He completed 86% of his passes on 67 touches and won 6 of his 11 duels. McKennie didn't get on the score sheet this weekend, and it feels like the first time in a long time that he wasn't directly involved in a goal. He's put together quite the season for Juventus and recently signed a new contract. I'm glad that he's got that over and out of the way. I just hope he can stay hungry leading into the World Cup. Moving to the left, we have Christian Pulisic of AC Milan, and Pulisic played the full 90 minutes in a 1-0 loss to Lazio. He completed 86% of his passes on 71 touches and had 3 key passes and 2 accurate crosses, creating 2 big chances. Christian also had 2 shots, 1 getting on target. But his cold streak continues, and he's taking his time rounding back into form. He's been goalless all of 2026. Yes, he was injured early in the year. However, he's had a streak now where he's not been on the score sheet. He needs to pick it up and get going leading into the end of the season and the World Cup. Moving up top, we have Fuller and Balogun of Monaco. And Balogun played 70 minutes in Monaco's 2-0 win on Saturday. He finished this match with a goal where he pounced on a loose ball in the box and put it in the back of the net. He's now got 4 goals in 4 games. We love to see this out of our number 1 striker. Overall, a lot of players are getting a lot of minutes. Some players are rounding into form, and some are struggling to find it. We have a few short months before the World Cup, and we need to prioritize health. This team can compete with anyone on its day. The jerseys just dropped, and they are light years ahead of what we had in 2022. Let me know your thoughts. What do we like better, the stars or the stripes? Leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll see you next time.